Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, January 6th, and we are here for the pre-market analysis for broader markets, TSLA levels, and a 5-minute opening range trade. That's kind of the basis of all the rest of the trades that we do for the day. Looking at economic data today, I don't see anything on here. However, they did stick in here that President Trump is speaking at 1 o'clock today, so you may want to be prepared for that because I think he is the #1 market mover when he speaks these days. So we have to watch that. We're getting into Wednesday, non-farm unemployment change at 7:15. 9 o'clock, you've got ISM service manufacturing and JOLTS job openings. So that should move the market on Wednesday. Thursday, unemployment claims at 7:30. All these other folders are yellow folders. While we go over this pre-market data, the red folders tell you that when you have to be prepared that anything that comes out could move the market. So you have to watch out if you're in a position at the time. Hey, good morning, Anthony. How are you, pal? Friday, you got some heavy data coming out. Unemployment rate at this is all 7:30 pre-market. Non-farm employment change, hourly earnings month over month. Then 9 o'clock, you've got University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations on Friday. So let's get into broader markets, just like we do every day when it comes to trading. It's rinse and repeat. So we had a decent push up yesterday on the ES. Still had some resistance up here at this weekly high that we had up here from December 5th at 69.63. So we are consolidating a little bit right now. So it's important that we hold these levels right now. You see in pre-market, we did pop down to the 69.32 1/4. And it seems to be holding that right now. We're right at yesterday's close and above the low from December 30th at 69.40.75. You had a point of control level that got closed yesterday, so I'm going to take this off the drawing here. We can take a look at a point of controls on the ES here. I don't see anything that's open right now, so really a non-issue there. Those of you that are new, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button, like this video. And then down below in the description, you can join our Discord community for live trading from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time every day, where I go over some basic trade strategies along with some other advanced trades. And I pretty much show in detail when I'm taking trades. So what we want to be looking for right now in order to get some upside movement, you want to get above that 69.63, which is December 5th weekly high. If you get that, then I think you can push into the November, is it November 12th? Yeah, it is November 12th. Just change that around there. Or maybe that is December 12th weekly high. I think it's December 12th, so we'll get rid of that. I'll go back and take a look at that later on. But anyways, yeah, in order to get some upward movement, we have to get above some these certain levels. You can see we had some good sellers that came in at 69.63.5 yesterday. So that's going to be an important level. If we can regain that level, reclaim that level, push higher, we'll push into that 69.88, which is the first level there. And then if we can get over that 69.88, I think we push towards all-time highs, which also sits right under the midline regressional trend line that they've had up here, I believe, since August. We can go back and take a look, see where that start date is, and maybe even go further back. Where do we have that? Yep, August it is. So this regressional trend line, we're definitely inching to push higher right now. We bounced off of this lower regressional trend line, which happens to be the 50-day SMA down at 68.82.5. And so right now we are just kind of consolidating here, looking for that next catalyst that's going to give us that little pop forward. So I would say that's the upside move. Downside inverse here, if we lose that 69.92 1/4, I think we're going to come back down to the 69.22. For that first level of support, and then if we lose that, it's right that's just above the 20-day SMA at 69.15.59. So I would anticipate that you would get a little reaction of support down there. If we lose that, we come down to that 69.05 level. That was October 27th weekly low. And then we have some good support down here at 68.96.5, which is the low from December 11th. And it's also in between the high of December 16th. So you almost, you want to break and retest of a high. So if it breaks this level, comes back down here, it tests this level again. So you'd want to see how the market reacts if we do get that downside right there. But one thing to keep in mind, we're above the 20-day SMA, we're above the 50-day SMA. So it's a bullish move right now. So you'd be looking for, I'd be looking for pullback longs at any of these levels that I have up here. Let's get into the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ right now is definitely a little more choppier than the ES right now because people are, I think they're kind of concerned about the tech. However, decent push right now, but you can see we are still rejecting this 20-day SMA. It's a big level. It's also right in lines with the weekly low from December 11th at 25,645.25. So I would say no longs until you can regain this level. However, you are trapped between this 20-day SMA and a 50-day SMA. And the 50-day SMA sits at 25,664.87. So I would say not thinking longs until you can regain this 50-day SMA. You could see yesterday we tried to get above it and big sellers came in, and then you could see how the market lost its steam. However, in the pre-market right now, trying to push higher. So same thought process right now. I like the longs if you can get above this 25,668 level. And this is right at the lower end of a regressional trend line that I have here. So I would like to see us get above that 25,682.33 in order to push into yesterday's highs. You probably get a little reaction if we do. And then we have an open point of control up there. Let's see this here. Yeah, where did I have that point of control from December 30th, huh? Actually, that got filled. That got filled the other day. So I'm going to take that level off. That December 30th point of control got filled on January 2nd. So we're going to get rid of that. Just those of you that are new right now, point of controls, I've got an automatic script on here, and it plots out where the heavy volume average trade is for that day. And you can see right here, on December 30th, the average volume was sitting right at 25,732.88. And so now what I do is after the market closes, if we do not come back up and touch this level, this is, that point of control level, then I leave it open until it actually comes back and gets hit. And you can see that from December 30th, we did come back and we popped through it on January 2nd. So I am going to get rid of that level because now that level is no good. However, you could use that for support and resistance levels. As you can see, it acted as a real nice support and resistance level up there. You had a lot of sellers that popped in over at that level right there. So now getting onto the downside right now, I think it's important for us to hold this 25,666 level. If we lose that 25,666, I'm actually going to say this level right here in pre-market, if we lose this 25,528 level, I think we're going to pull back down to this 25,412.5, and it meets in with this the midline of this regressional trend line that I have drawn here, and it also comes in with the weekly low of 25,370.87. So those are those lower levels right there. If we lose that level right there, I think we're going to come back down in between this 25,184.5 up to 25,248. I know that's a pretty big range for the NASDAQ, but if you could go back here, you could see where these levels come into play as far as the demand stepping up. You could see right here as the market pulled back, we supported off of this levels pretty strongly right now. So I like this level down here at this. If we did lose all these levels at 25,370.87, I still like this support. And then I think if we really have a downward pressure and we lost this, I don't see any of this happening today. That's a pretty significant move on the downside. But you can keep these charts on your level. Keep these levels on your charts. If we did end up losing that 25,184.5, we come back down to this 24,960.75, and then if we lose that level, then we come back down here 24,620. So that is pretty significant drop. I don't anticipate those type of moves in one day. However, you have to have them up on your chart for when you start approaching them during your intraday trading. Anyways, let's get on to Tesla levels right now. Again, hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up button to like this video, and then also join our Discord community down below in the description, so you can see live trading from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time every morning. Tesla, here we go. I think Tesla, as much as I'm bullish on Tesla, we're still struggling. We're still having some downward pressure, and it's, as much as it tries to get up here, you can see it tried 3 times yesterday. There's 1, 2, 3, call it 4 times to get through this 456.21 level. So I was trying to get long there, and then I saw what the market was giving me, and then I had enough of it. So, however, yesterday did create a point of control level, like I was just explaining before, up here at 455.09. So I would anticipate if we do get that push here, you're going to probably expect a little resistance up there. So you have to watch out for that level up there, as well as, let me just see here. Actually, so this point of control here from December 30th, just like I had on the NASDAQ, it was set here on December 30th, and then we got hit on the 2nd of January. So this point of control is no good anymore. So this is how these point of controls come into play, where you can use them as support and resistance. So the same thing. So it created that point of control from December 30th. We came back up here into this level, tried to get through it, lost that level. So now it becomes a resistance level. So a resistance, or there's other technical terms, supply, demand. So up here, this is a supply area, meaning that, you're going to get resistance. Down here, demand, meaning that there's demand for buyers, right? So these are all different technical levels, technical terms rather, that you should definitely familiarize yourself with, because there's 2 types of traders. There's a fundamental trader, there's a technical trader. That actually, and me, I'm a technical and fundamentals. You cannot have one without the other. You need your technical levels, and when your technical levels don't work, it's when there's some like black swan event, let's just say, that'll just blow through your technical levels. However, if there's just economic data, you pay attention to your levels while you're trading, and then and that's why I have all these different levels for while the market is moving during intraday trading, so I can make a good decision on the types of trades that I'm going to make. So let's just go over Tesla, what I see for today on Tesla. Let's go over these SMAs. So we're below the 20-day SMA, so there's still pressure right here. We are above the 50-day SMA, though, at 445.21. I would say today, if we lose this 448.18 level, we come down, test this 50-day SMA at 445.24. If we lose that level, I think we're going to come down and test this January of last year's high, 439.74. And then if we lose that level, I think we come back down here to this Fibonacci level I have down here at 433.38 to 434.81 level. So that's on the downside right there. And as far as what a Fibonacci level, for those of you that are not familiar with that, you start with the low. And so I pretty much took the low of last year, which was in April, and I measured it up to the high. And then Tesla usually bounces off of these certain levels. So you can see, so the low last year from April, believe it or not, was 214, and then we got up to 498 last year by the end of the day. So we've got so when you draw this Fibonacci levels, the market tends to come back to these levels. So as you can see, we've got a level down here, 433.38. I'll clean it up for you so you can see it better. These are very strong levels of pullbacks for Tesla. 76.4%, 433.38 is a strong level, and then the strongest level, if you lose that level, is 392.37, and that's a 61.8% pullback. So you have to you have to watch these levels, and it's important to have these different levels on your charts while you're trading. Let's go into the 5-minute opening range trade from yesterday. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and like this video. So yesterday, let's see what we had. We had an upside move yesterday, so we had some a decent move on the 5-minute opening range trade. So the range yesterday was what did we had yesterday? 444.57 to 451.10. So you had a pretty big opening range move on that 5-minute opening range trade. And those of you that are just chiming in for the first time, why we base our day off of the 5-minute opening range trade is because this is where your heaviest volume is of the day until the end of the day. So you can see right here, the first 5 minutes of the day, you had 29 million, about 2.9 million shares traded on that first 5-minute candle. And then as you can see down below, the volume drops off until the end of the day. And then at the end of the day, right here on the close, you had about 5.3 million shares. So this is how you kind of can get an indication of the direction that the market's going to move. Once you get that 5-minute opening range, you take that trade on the break on the direction that the market is going for that day. So if you did take that break yesterday, the high that was 451.10, you didn't have a really big push yesterday. So that's what's making me think that there's still some downside to be had with Tesla today. However, you still could have made some decent money on that, right? So I think the high of that push, 457. So you could have gotten $6 out of that move. There's you don't need much to make a consistent money in trading, especially the type of trading I do with trading options. So let's just go into how I utilize that with my trades, right? So you have I have my calls up here on the top here, and I have my puts on the bottom. So if I think the market's going down, I'm buying puts, and then this premium price will move up or down based on the direction that the market is going. If I'm buying puts and I want the market to go down, as this market goes down, this premium price will go up. And if I'm buying calls and I want the market to go up, as this market rises, this premium price will go up as well. And then you have to pick your strike price. So starting today, I use the expiration dates of Fridays. So this expiration is going to be January 9th. And I switch my call prices and put prices as the market moves, because sometimes you get a big move and it pushes the premium prices in one direction or the other. I typically like to be in the $3 range on my premium prices because, one, it's how much it costs you to buy this option, for example. So if I want to buy this option at $3.15, and if I'm buying a one lot, it costs me, my risk is going to be $315. If I buy this and I do absolutely nothing, I cannot lose more than $315. That being said, in all the years I've been trading options, I have never taken a premium price down to zero ever, because my type of trading is scalping. I'm getting in and out, and I'm 100% flat in this account every single day. So going over my calls that I'm going to use for today, I'm going to leave this 455 calls up here, even though the premium price closed at 615. We're getting some downside pressure. So when the market opens right now, I anticipate this premium price is going to drop $1, maybe even $1.50. So it'll be more affordable when I actually enter my trades. So that's what I'm going to start with today. However, if you're in the trade room, you can see that I speak out loud saying if I'm going to change my price, my call price or my put price, and then I also identify where I'm going to be taking my trades. Anyways, again, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button. Also, if you want me to cover any other stocks or any other equities, leave a comment down below. I had somebody from Switzerland last week asked me to cover a bunch of stocks, and I made a separate video for that. I have no problem doing that. I actually enjoy doing this. So if I don't see everybody in the trading room, by the way, just down in the description, you can join the Discord community so you can see the live trading from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time every day. So if I don't see you in the trading room, I will see everybody tomorrow for the pre-market analysis. Same time every day, Monday through Friday, like clockwork. Have a great trading day, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.